Hello guys, and welcome. One more. Why? Why, Tarte? Why did you have to do this? Guys, I don't even know where to start. This is such a sensitive subject, and for good reason.
So guys, this is my second time filming this because ever since I ordered this, it's all I can think about. And the first time I filmed it, I talked way too much. Way too much, which I know I do that a lot. So I'm going to try to do this and condense it down. So I, like everybody else, was super pumped for the Tarte Shape Tape Foundation launch. Obviously the elephant in the room with this is the shade range. So obviously, as you know, it came out in 15 shades, and I think unless you've been living under a rock, you've seen the swatch video on somebody with a deeper skin tone, and like the lack of variation in this shade range, it was shocking, especially on that picture. I think it grabbed everybody's attention, and not in the best way because I mean, it was what it was. There's 15 shades. About 10 of those are fair light shades. There's about 3 medium shades and then 2 deep shades. How Tarte thought that that was going to be acceptable for this foundation after this concealer was so freaking popular is beyond me. One thing that like nobody is talking about with this is that the shade range for this foundation almost identically matches the shade range for the concealer. Almost exactly down to the name as well. I think there's 14 shades in the concealer and 15 in the foundation. I don't know if they thought that this was so popular and it worked, so they just thought they would take it and do this. I don't know. I'm trying to understand why it is that they pulled this move. This shade range is not all-inclusive. It is absolutely not. They are lacking most of the shades in the deeper skin tone, but they're also lacking some of the pale skin tones as well. It's just not acceptable. Everyone deserves to have a foundation shade. I know everybody's saying it, but it is 2018. Other brands have moved on past this. I don't see why you would launch something that is so successful like this. Like, I don't understand. I don't understand. Do I think that this was a racist move or like a move for PR by Tarte? I don't. The reason why is because if you look at their other foundations, the shade ranges on those are very similar. There's just not that much. It's not an all-inclusive shade range in any of their foundations. So I think they just were copying what they've always done, and this is the first time that they've been called out. And I don't think Tarte's the only company who does this. In fact, I know they're not, because I just did a ton of research on Sephora and Ulta, and it was shocking some of the companies that still do this. Yeah, I mean, it's time to change. I think if we're going to use our voices to try to make change happen in the beauty industry, I think we need to call out everybody, not just Tarte. Obviously, yeah, this was a really stupid move. I think they know that. They've come out with apologies, but I think their apologies have been, well, it's a whole nother subject. To post an apology on an Insta story where it's going to go away in 24 hours, it's kind of ridiculous. I don't know. It does not come across as genuine. And then their statement saying that, oh, we're coming out with 10 more shades and we only came out with these because everybody's skin tones are lighter in the winter. What? What? That shouldn't have anything to do with your launch. Even if that was valid, which it's not, it shouldn't have anything to do with the launch. I feel like this launch, it reminds me, like in this line, it reminds me a lot of L'Oreal's Pro Matte and Pro Glow. And if you look at the shade range there are 12 shades. And even I have yet to find a perfect match in that foundation in any of those lines. Like 12 shades? That is where I feel like this is really similar to that one. I feel like what Tarte should have done is come out with one formula first, probably the matte formula, and they should have done 30 shades. If they would have done 30 shades and make it all inclusive, we wouldn't be here. They'd be making millions and billions of dollars and everybody would love Tarte. I feel like they've probably lost a lot of their customer base and their fan base over this, and rightfully so. And it sucks because I love Tarte products. Like, I have yet to really come across a Tarte product that I don't love. I want to take this moment to just kind of call out a couple of my favorite foundations that have huge shade ranges in varying undertones that work for so many different people. Obviously, the first one is Fenty Beauty. This is a great foundation. It wears really well. Obviously, I'm oily combo skin, and I really like this one. I do get oily with it, but when I touch up and I blot, nothing moves around and it touches up really well. Another newer release that has a really good shade range is the Huda Beauty Faux Filter Foundation. I think she has 30 or 32 shades in this. This is an amazing, amazing foundation. Does it last the greatest on my oily combo skin? No, but I found a couple of tricks to help it last better, and I love to mix it with my other foundations because I have never seen a coverage on a foundation before like this one. Another one, which is my tried and true, my OG, my Estee Lauder Double Wear Foundation. This one comes in, I believe, 42 or 43 shades. And this is amazing at lasting on your skin. Like, you put this on, it's not going to budge. So that's another good one. And then another one, which you can see I've used pretty much all of it. This is my MAC Pro Longwear Foundation in just any of the MAC lines. I think there's 45 shades in their MAC foundations, which is amazing. I love this. This was the first foundation that I really fell in love with. This, I guess, is my real first OG. So those are a couple of really good ones that you can go to if you're struggling to find a good shade match for you. Those 4 foundations, I would suggest those, and I love those companies. They're great. They're obviously getting with the times. Did every single one of those start out with that many shades? I don't know. Probably not. I mean, obviously Huda Beauty and Fenty Beauty did, but I don't know if Estee Lauder and MAC did. But they are now at that point. So back to Tarte, they did say that they're going to be adding 10 shades, and I've heard that they're adding 5 shades to the matte, 5 shades to the hydrating foundation. To me, after this situation, I feel like that's unacceptable. I think if they really wanted to come back and regain their reputation, that they would expand each line to 30 shades. That just makes me sad. I want to believe the best in them, because that's just how I am. I want to believe the best in everybody. So that's it for the politics part of this review. I don't like talking about these things. I don't like to be so super serious. Like, makeup is just, it's fun. But that's why I started this channel, is I wanted to just have something fun to help empower people. So that's it for the politics part. Let's go ahead and jump into the application and the wear test. Okay, so I'm going to start off by priming my face with my Dr. Brandt Pores No More, of course. Here's the foundation. I purchased the shade Light Medium Neutral. Whether this ends up being the right shade for me or not, I guess we'll find out. So I'm going to apply the right side with a sponge, and then on the left side I'll apply it with my Clarisonic makeup brush.
Make me feel like
The sponge I am using is the Morphe sponge. It's the teardrop one with the flat edges. I really like this one. Side by side, that is what it looks, well, like finished and not finished. It's definitely like a medium to full coverage. Then here's my Clairsonic. Alright, so both sides seem to apply really well. Coverage wise, I'm gonna say I have fuller coverage on the side with the Clairsonic. And then the Beauty Blender kind of like thinned it out a little bit, so it just depends on like what coverage you're looking for, how you should apply it based on that. And of course I'm gonna conceal using my Tarte Shape Tape, of course, and I'm in the shade Light Neutral in this. And I blend my concealer out with my Morphe sponge. And I'm going to set under my eyes using the, oh, there's a hair there, the MAC Patrick Star Powder using my Morphe M438. And then I'm going to set the rest of my face with the Too Faced Sweet Peach powder, the matte powder, and my Morphe E41 brush. Alright, so my face feels very smooth. It looks very like airbrushed. Definitely looks full coverage right now. So I'm gonna go ahead and finish up the rest of my makeup, and I'll be right back. Alright you guys, so here is the end result. So let's go ahead and see how this looks. So right now, I mean, I hate to say it, I am really, really liking how my foundation looks. Like a lot. All the other products went on really well on top of it. I don't feel like it looks cakey or anything. I feel like it just looks really airbrushed and pretty. So that is where we're at right now. I'm gonna go ahead and go about the rest of my day. I've got some other things planned. I'm gonna be babysitting my nieces and my nephews. So that's gonna be fun. Hopefully my outfit lasts. But yeah, so I will check in with you guys later again tonight. Bye. Hey guys, okay, so we are back. It is, let's see, what time is it?
It's 2:13.
Alright.
Thanks, Mickey.
So this has been on for 8 going on 9 hours. So let's go ahead and zoom in and see what's going on. So it has worn away on my chin, like I said in my last video, and a tiny bit on my nose. My dog loves to kiss me, and this is the areas where she tries to kiss me. So that is what it is. I'm not gonna deny my dog of affection. But yeah, And then I can't tell if it's worn off right here a little bit. It's possible. But on my forehead, like if you've watched my videos before, like my foundation rubs off a lot right here, and I've noticed like I don't really touch my skin there, but my hair is always touching it, so I think my hair rubs it off, but it's not, it's just a teeny tiny bit right there. It is. It's creasing on the sides of my nose, and it's oily, but aside from that, that is the situation. It's kind of like, there's kind of some lines going on my nose right here, which is interesting. But let's go ahead and touch it up like I normally do and see how well this touches up. So I'm just going to take my NYX matte blotting papers.
We're cooking tonight. Look at all this grease.
Okay. So there's the sheet. It is oily. There's a teeny tiny bit of foundation, but not a ton. Okay, the same. This one's not quite as oily, but there is obviously more makeup on this one than the last one. So I feel like it blotted really well. Nothing like separated or moved around when I did that.
Yeah, my skin is just going through a moment this month. I don't know what the heck it's doing.
So as always, to touch up, I'm gonna grab my Morphe E41 brush, giant brush, and I love it. And I'm just gonna take my Rimmel Stay Matte.
Make me feel like I'm the one for you, like we're real. Kiss me, touch me.
Okay, so now I have touched it up. You can see just a little bit cracking on the sides of my nose, but nothing like that's like in your face. And like this crease is holding up pretty well. Everything else looks really, like I think it looks really good. Like even on my chin where it wore off, yeah, it's a little red, but it just looks really airbrushed still. There's still a tiny bit of swatching right there. Right there. And then right here. This is what my face looks like touched up in after 8 to 9 hours of wear. I am actually really impressed.
Why'd you have to break my heart? Why?
Because I really like this foundation on my skin right now, you guys. I'm not going to sit here and bash it and tell you it's awful because of the controversy. I can't do that. Especially when I like it this much. Look at my skin right now. It looks really, really good. Alright you guys, so that is it for this foundation review, application, and wear test. My final thoughts on this foundation are, I don't want to like this foundation, but I do. It wears so beautiful on my skin. Like this matte foundation on my skin, my oily combo skin, it really works really well for me. I don't want to say it, but I would almost put it up in my top 3. My top 2 at the moment that I am so obsessed with are my, of course, my Estee Lauder Double Wear. We're talking like longevity and like lasting so well on my oily combo skin. The Estee Lauder Double Wear foundation, and then the Too Faced Peach Perfect foundation. I've yet to do my review on this one. Yeah, shade range sucks on this one too. I think there's 14 shades. Oh, God, don't quote me. Hold on, I'm gonna look it up. So there are 12 shades in this shade range, or in this foundation. Again, unacceptable. I do feel like don't quote me. I feel like I saw this was kind of like a soft release, and that they were just going to see how well it did, because it was like a new formula and nothing that had ever been done, or it never had a hype or anything around it. And they said if it does well, they decide to keep it, that they would expand it. I want to say I heard that. I hope I heard that, because I love the formula on this foundation. And I do also want to point out too, since we're talking about it, hopefully this shows up on the camera. Okay. So do you see that shade range? Does it remind you of anything? Come on, companies. Let's get it together. I feel like I can give this one a little bit more of a pass over this one, just because there was like zero hype around this. Like, everybody was excited because it was a new launch, but there wasn't a hype. As where this already had a reputation because of this, and this was so wildly popular. I feel like this, they dropped the ball. Anyways, those are my top 2 foundations that I am loving at the moment, and I feel like this is up there. Oh, don't hate me. Please don't hate me. I'm just giving you my honest opinion on a makeup product. So am I going to continue to use this and promote it in my videos? I feel that until Tarte comes out with a bigger shade range, I can't promote it in my videos. I'll probably still use it in my everyday life, but I just can't recommend something that just dropped the ball in such a bad way. I do believe in second chances. I am rooting for you, Tarte. I really am. I hope you come back swinging and you blow us all out of the water and you make this so right. If you continue to still be mad at Tarte over it, even if they do come back and they make it right, that's your opinion. You're totally entitled to feel that. Nobody can tell you how you're going to feel about a product or about anything. I feel like you're rightfully so in that opinion as well. So that's my 2 cents. I'm gonna shut up now. I'm gonna end the video. Guys, if you're new here, subscribe. I would love you. I'd love to have you a part of my little crew. I am a small new channel, so welcome. And yeah, I'm gonna move on. I wanna end this video on something positive. So we have been getting crazy amounts of snow here. And if you see my other videos, you know my pup, Ladybell. I'm just gonna say this about what you're about to see. Most people here in Utah are bragging about their kids up on ski slopes and like posting their videos like, hey, check out my kid. Look how good they are at skiing. Well, my pup, she's really good at catching snowballs. See you guys later. Bye.
Bye.